He last visited India for a literary festival. In fact, he visited, I would rather say, the same literary festival, the Jaipur Literary Festival 4 years ago. But today, as news of Salman Rushdie's exact details of when he's visiting came, a new controversy has broken out. The very respected Islamic seminary Darul Uloom Deoband has urged the government to cancel his visa, saying he has hurt religious sentiments of Muslims in the past. Most political parties steered clear of commenting, others gave generic reactions. Questions have been asked on the timing of this demand. And on the News Hour tonight, I am joined by Alka Raghuvanshi, who's curator of the India Habitat Center. Very prominent voice on several issues in the past, including the MF Hussain controversy. She's been right there at the forefront. Shiba Aslam Fehmi is an Islamic feminist writer and a well-known journalist. Thank you for joining us. Zafar Yab Jilani, convener of the Babri Masjid Action Committee. My first question tonight is to Asaduddin Owaisi, Lok Sabha Member of Parliament of the All India Majlis-e-Ittihad-e Muslimin. Mr. Owaisi, why should Salman Rushdie's visa be reviewed? The last time he visited in the same festival in 2007, nobody objected to his participation. There was no law and order situation which was created. So is this demand completely irrelevant in your view now?
I would request you to please give me 2 minutes to answer your question. Number one, you're wrong in saying that whenever Rushdie came to India, there was no protest. There were protests by the Muslim community. It's a different matter that the mainstream media has not covered it. Yes, he came in 2007, there was protest. Secondly, I'd like to remind you that when this Gita controversy arose in Russia, the resolution that was read in the Indian Parliament said that Gita is the soul of India, and all parties, cutting across all party lines, demanded that this issue should be solved. I would like to know that if there is unanimity on Gita, why can't there be unanimity on Salman Rushdie, who has all the right to criticize Islam, but no one can commit an act of blasphemy or sacrilege against Islam and against the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And third point is, by inviting this...
But he's not coming to speak on that subject.
No. Let me complete. By inviting him to such a prestigious literary festival for the second time, the organizers are sanctioning the rubbish and blasphemy and sacrilege which Rushdie wrote before. Last point, I am not a spokesperson for the Darul Deoband. It is for them. It will have been better if they are here. But I would urge upon the government that why should India become a safe haven for people like Taslima Nasreen, Salman Rushdie? Let us have unanimity. By unnecessary, you are inviting them over here. What is the message that you are giving?
Sure.
This is not good. This will lead to more problems.
Well, there are contrary opinions. I'll let Alka Raghuvanshi come in next. But the question is also that cancelling a visa will set a bad precedent. You see, Mr. Owaisi, some people will say it will leave room. Tomorrow some other group will not want some other individual. And that may set a dangerous precedent. I'd like to welcome Alka Raghuvanshi. Your response, ma'am, to what Mr. Owaisi's opening remarks were.
I think it's a very silly sort of demand on his part, because after all, when I last heard, since giving out visa was a state subject, not a religious one, how can a religious group object to the state of the country giving a visa to a person or not? I mean, how partisan can we get? He is coming as an author. He's been invited by a very, very legitimate, a very, very prestigious organization to come and speak. It's ridiculous that a group should demand that his visa be revoked.
The argument is being put here. Let me welcome our third participant, Shiba Aslam Fehmi. Ms. Fehmi, the argument being put here, also by Mr. Owaisi, was that there are sensitivities attached. They might lead to a law and order situation.
Well, I think Well, I think he has tried to mislead this whole conversation, because when he compares it with the controversy of Gita, the Russians were not witch hunted out of India when it was happening. So secondly, it is very important to remember that Salman Rushdie enjoys no support. He enjoys no popularity in India. Taking up this issue at this juncture, it only means that we want to, some Muslim leadership want to exploit the election atmosphere here in India. So we must understand that 4 years back it was not an issue. Now it is an issue because elections are right ahead, and we understand that people like Maulana Numani or Mr. Owaisi need to understand that it's about time we need to develop skills to engage with such peoples instead of witch hunting them.
Don't carry out a witch hunt, says Shiba Femi. I'd like to welcome Zafariab Jilani for his introductory comment. Mr. Owaisi, I know you want to respond. I will come back to you. Mr. Jilani, question is, why is this being raked up now ahead of the UP elections? One of our participants and many people see a direct link between that. Mr. Jilani.
No, there is no question of UP elections, because when this Gita controversy had arisen, the Darul Deoband had issued an appeal that there should be no ban upon any religious book, including Gita. So the Darul Deoband is an institution which is not, has got nothing to do with UP elections. The Salman Rushdie's past is such that he is always opposed by the Muslims because he has committed blasphemy. And as Owaisi has said, that we cannot tolerate, India's law does not tolerate. See, there are so many provisions under the Indian laws, including 153A, section 153B, 295 and 500, etc., which provide that such statements are offence. And Salman Rushdie has committed those offences. So we don't know what he will speak, therefore Muslims
no, but he's not here to speak on, he's not here to speak on a controversial subject.
It is always possible.
No, sir.
No.
It is always possible for the it is always possible for the government. There is no restriction upon the government's right to reject visa. United States can reject visa for Modi. Why can't India reject visa for this Salman
No, but why is this demand being?
Question of any violation.
Why is this demand being raised now? That the question is of timing,
because
Mr.
he is a man. No. You see, he is coming these days. Who had invited? We had not held that program.
So then why the opposition? He has come here on the same, Mr. Owaisi. I want you to try and fill in the blanks, Mr. Owaisi, for me. A, Mr. Owaisi, he has come on this event before. Nobody objected to it then. Why? Because there were no UP elections. B, he is not here to speak about a controversial subject. He is here to speak about a subject called English, Amlish and Hinglish, the chutneyfication of English. In other words, he is here to talk about the influences of local dialects and local cultures on the English language. This is nothing controversial at all, Mr. Owaisi. Now, unless somebody wants to deliberately make it an issue, why would they raise the demand now?
See, you are again, I am reiterating that whenever this person has visited India, Muslims of India have voiced their protest. You have not covered it, it is not my problem. But we have always protested that as far as we are concerned, as citizens of India, this man has committed an act of sacrilege and blasphemy, and his book is banned in India. Has that ban been lifted? You please tell me. And secondly, when it comes to the Gita controversy, there is everyone from BJP, from every political parties to all your the great personalities, the literate personalities who want, this cannot be tolerated. In fact, the government of India said that Gita is the soul of India. Now, and there was unanimity. I would like to know then what about over here? How can you invite a person, how can you extend him a visa who has written nonsense and rubbish about Islam? The lady on your panel says that we should engage. I am all for freedom of expression, but she should know that there is a huge difference between freedom of expression and talking rubbish, committing acts of blasphemy against a particular religion. As Jilani rightly pointed out, in IP, we have sections in IPC. Then you take away those IPC sections and throw them in Bay of Bengal.
Let's put it this way,
Even in freedom of expression, Arnab Goswami, you know very well, Ledamni Company, you know very well that in freedom of expression, Article 90, it has restraints. It is not a full-fledged right. then why do you require 295, 153A? I mean,
Mr. Owaisi,
why is there a need to invite such a person? By inviting him over there, you are sanctioning the book which he has written, and not only about Muslims. What good he has written about Ram and Krishna and Sita and about Jesus Christ's mother Mary.